I am Jeff Ginger. I'm an adjunct instructor in the Illinois Informatics Institute, and I work as the operations lead for the Champaign-Urbana Community Fab Lab. So the guy who runs the Fab Lab MIT network, so there's a network of hundreds of Fab Labs all over the world. It was based out of MIT, and Neil Gershenfeld is the founder. So like at MIT, they had lots of equipment that cost like several $1 million, and they had lots of resources and very expert people. And they tried to broaden this to, how can we do this with a lot less money with different kinds of people in different locations? And our Fab Lab came into the picture when the brother of Neil Gershenfeld, so Joel Kutcher Gershenfeld, was the dean of the Department of Labor and Employment Relations. And their brothers, they talk about their work a lot of the time, and he said, what if we started a volunteer Fab Lab here in Champaign-Urbana?
My name is Duncan Baird. I am a CS major, senior year. I was looking for a sewing machine, and then I found, I think it was both a Reddit post as well as a Facebook post. Yeah. Someone had said, oh, the Fab Lab has sewing machines. I came here to use it, and then I kind of never left. I was like here to do my stuff, and then once I finished my stuff, I was like, well, they've got so many other interesting things here. So I started working on more projects, and then I learned how to use all the machines. So then I started volunteering, because whenever anyone needed help, I was just like, oh, I can do that. And so I helped out, and then I applied for a job over the summer.
First off, let me talk about the material. We like to use canvas here because you don't need to use stabilizer. If you use a thin material that isn't sturdy like this, you would need to use stabilizer underneath of your fabric that you're stitching on top of, so that it doesn't bunch up. So the first step is we're going to load it up. We're going to grab a hoop. There's two parts to a hoop. You've got a big part and a little part. We'll lay the big part down, loosen this up a bit, and squeeze this in top.
So the first group, like in the 2009 to 2011, maybe 2012 era, it was all volunteer. Lots of people from the university, but also lots of people from the community. And then later, we shifted from out of the Labor and Employment Relations Department, because it didn't really match with what they do so well, into informatics, which is applied computing, which matches really very well with what we do. And when that happened, then we started more rigorously hiring people. Like we have students and part-time staff that help out there. And then we still also have a big volunteer contingent. There's volunteers either out in the community or locally. And in that same year, we also then, it started out as just a building on campus and just some people on campus. And in that same year, when we switched from volunteer only to volunteer and staff, we also then added locations out in the community. I guess I would answer that with like 4 program objectives. So we run programming, like you mentioned, so like summer camps and events and workshops and that kind of thing. We also just do a lot of events where it's awareness raising. So like we'll go out to like a large, like a state fair, and we'll have like workshops and stations and just introduce people to things that are going on. And then so there's events outside of the Fab Lab, there's events inside of the Fab Lab, and then there's things through grants. So like we're working with 4-H to help with youth development and leadership, and helping like train teachers so they can then bring some of these kinds of capacities into their classroom or in their communities. And then we try to also produce documentation and material, and that's one of the things we're trying to always grow, because there's like we kind of develop activities faster than we develop like the documentation of what we're doing. But so if we make a program or a workshop, somebody else in another country or location can use that.